It's Tiana and it's Tuesday, which brings me to another Maniology live day. And no, you're not dreaming. This is a back-to-back Maniology live week. So here every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, you can either find me or Dev, your nail educators and inspirators, talking about everything nail stamping, techniques, tutorials, hacks, and nail talk. So if you joined in yesterday, and if you didn't, that's fine, but you know what the nails that I'm going to be talking about because you guys got a little sneak peek of what the design looks like. So I'm going to jump right in. So today I'm going to be showing you, actually I had created this design last week before I did my own nails, and I was like, oh, this is really cute. I know I've mentioned previously that hearts is not my thing, so this is a wearable design for me that I felt very comfortable wearing. Of course, everybody has their own taste in design and, what they feel comfortable wearing. Black is just my all-time favorite color, and so I was like, okay, I can do this really simple negative heart design. But then also another concept that I really wanted to focus on was this fresh French tip. And I know I mentioned it not in yesterday's video, but in a previous video I did, talking about how to do like a French heart design. So I really wanted to focus on that and show you guys how I did it. Really super simple. Another thing that is really nice is that literally, aside from your base coat, I'm just using straight up black, which is our very black stamping polish, and then also the smudge free. Just these two items. Very, very simple. That's a manicure that I can definitely get down with. And then the plate today that we will be using to stamp out the hearts is M272, which is the Bleeding Hearts plate, which is currently on our site right now. And so I'll be focusing on these kind of wider hearts here. A lot of stamping because in this design kind of created like a really randomized heart design. And as you can see, both of these, I guess if we line them up this way, maybe that might make a little bit more sense. You'll notice that no finger is the same from the other, from its opposite. And so that kind of adds more interest, something that Devon always mentions. So I try to kind of keep that in mind. And then I also alternated the heart French manicure, the design to, let me say that again. Did that make sense? I alternated on every other finger the French design, and then also when you look across from each other, that like my ring fingers are not the same. So I hope that kind of gives you a better perspective of what the manicure looks like. And so here are the tips. And so I'm gonna basically do, this is mimicking my left hand. I'm gonna go ahead and try and mimic my right hand. So before we get started, I want to welcome everyone. I see people still coming in, no worries. I wanted to give you, if black is not your thing, if that's just not a color you're going for, of course. When I think of hearts, I think of, like Valentine's, I think of love, really kind of traditional colors. So I wanted to give you guys a color palette that maybe you might feel maybe interested in or might inspire you. So I have a few colors here. If you want to go for kind of a more traditional hearts in red kind of look, I have two polishes here. So one, this is Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb is a color obviously we talk about a lot. This is a really nice true red that stamps really nicely. And this is Shaka Santa. Now Shaka Santa is a beautiful kind of metallic red, and you can kind of see how the bottle is holding on to the silvers, but it's a really beautiful stampable glitter. And I have a few pinks here, if pinks are your thing. Kind of like another quintessential heart-like color. So I have this, which is Wild Wings, which is like a metallic like fuchsia. And then I also have Anthurium here. And Anthurium is another kind of glittery fuchsia, beautiful colors. So that could be another option. I feel like if you're broody, but not necessarily in that black mode like how I am, then this color Wolfish is beautiful too, which is kind of like a really moody kind of burgundy. I would say a little bit more on the purpley side though. And last I feel like purple is maybe a little bit more mod kind of color, but you know, I wanted to present a few more colors. This is a really gorgeous color. This is Fairy Tale, and it's a hollow, I guess, kind of like a violet kind of color. Really beautiful. You can kind of see the gold in it, that kind of goldy rainbow. And then I have like these two really cream but really soft purples that are more like on the lilac spectrum. So this one is Lilac Mist, and this one is Monarch Dream. Between Dev and I, we use this color a lot. But I think those would be kind of cute if you wanted to recreate the same manicure, but in these two colors. So maybe that might be another color palette that might interest you in creating this. Of course, nail stamping is meant to be creative, so pick any color you want. Black is just my jam. That's the color I went with, and but if it's not, then find a color you like. Okay, I think earlier I saw a question about my nail tips. So yes, I am wearing false tips, and this is a full nail tip, and you know, honestly, I'm not quite sure if I'm saying it correctly, but apres, and apres nails, that's the tips I'm using. So if you're curious, that's also, today I'm gonna be using the tips because I really like the shape of this. And I feel like having something that's a little kind of more tapered kind of just enhances that heart shape. Okay. So let me go ahead and set up my workspace. Let me get my lotus mat out. The black is gonna get a little stainy, so I'll put down my napkin here, and I have my sticky stamper station. Today I will be using my handy dandy double-ended stamper. Let me just make sure that that is clean. So again, before I get stamping, it's just good practice to kind of clean off the stamper head. I don't know if you guys can see. You know, sometimes debris will settle on the back side of your stamper head, so sometimes I just like to clean that. And another reason why I really like this fresh French tip with hearts is, you know, it kind of adds something else, you know, to the classic French look. Okay, so let's see. Because I'm mimicking this hand, so I'm going to be doing the hearts on these two. Let me start with the heart. Okay. For me, I think the first thing that I think is kind of important is to kind of center where the heart is going to be, because you're going to create, you know, that kind of that bump for the heart. So normally I like to make an outline with the polish. So I don't gob on a whole bunch of polish. Let me see. And bring this closer over here. I want to kind of use it like a, I guess, a pencil. And you can see I have the tip facing me. So kind of like to see what I'm doing. I'm kind of painting like where that center is. So I know where my heart is going to start. I'm going to kind of brush it out from there. So you see what I did? Almost like a butterfly wing or like the start of that heart. I want it to kind of curve out. And don't worry if it's not perfect. Well, we can fix it later. But I just want like the general shape. Okay. So make sure you're keeping that bump there. So that's one side. Working on my left hand because I'm right-handed was so much easier. Took me forever, I feel like, to do this, you know, on my dominant hand with my non-dominant hand. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. So you see how that shape is coming out? So of course, trying to keep the bumps of the heart here as even on both sides as possible. I'm just gonna bring that over. When you're doing this on your hand, you may want to use a cuticle protector just to not stain your skin with the black. Or if you have like Mani mask or any type of cuticle protector, that would be great. Okay. So there, without using any detail brush, that is our first tip. So I'm gonna set that aside right now and work on the ring finger design. Doing the same thing. So we're gonna start off with finding our middle, our center line. So I kind of draw something right there to kind of center me, so it gives me an idea of where I'm starting. Okay. And I'm just gonna feather that out, bump it out. Okay, so there's that. Isn't it cool when you join these lives to see that people are from areas that either you're from or that you recognize? Thank you so much for joining us today, wherever you're from. I like to see where everyone comes from too. It's like I have pen pals all over the place. Okay. I like how this is turning out. And there is the second design. I think we're gonna fix the center just a little. Okay, there. I feel like this next part is gonna be fun. Okay, so turn that around so you can see how you can do that with your French. Really, really super simple. Okay, so now let's enter the stamping part. Is someone asking if I'm chewing gum? No, I'm not. Sorry if it sounds like I am. Okay. So with this, you get as creative as you want to. So like I kind of put like the bigger designs in the center for the wider part of the nail. But go ahead and get as creative as you want. So this is just using one color, which is the straight up black. Okay. Oh, that came off kind of streaky. Oh, sorry about that. I kind of saw that when I was about to pick it up. So we'll do it again. And the name of this plate is called the Bleeding Hearts plate, or M272. Okay, sometimes the edge of the plate, because that's where it kind of has like that lip, I guess, you know, going towards the edge there. Sometimes getting a really clean scrape might be a little difficult, but want to get it as clean as possible. There you go. Okay, let me clean some of that off. And I'm just gonna have fun with it, and let's do, there. I just put a little crooked heart there. Okay. So I think I might see a question while I'm doing this asking about just stamping off this part of your nail. I think if you can find a wide enough design that matches, or you know, the shape and size of your nail, I think that could work perfectly. But I have really wide nails, even without these false ones. So for me, that doesn't work. There's not a wide enough design that I could use. But if this fits your nail, then you could go ahead and stamp it on instead of hand drawing it like how I did. So actually you're at an advantage because you have two ways that you could do it instead of one. Okay. So I know you can see that this one is missing a little bit of polish, and I'm going to show you how I can fix that. And no worries. Okay. So as you can see, I know we get questions about this, so I would like to address it. Do you have to clean up, or say for instance, if I wanted this shape over again and I didn't clean it, do I have to clean the plate every single time? Yes, and I'm going to show you why. Okay. You may, if you do this again and scrape, you may get lucky and get a nice pickup, just like this. Okay. And I won't lie, there's been times where I feel like that has worked for me. Okay, so there. But let's keep using that same heart right there to pick up. Eventually you'll notice that the pickups will get worse and worse, and you won't get a really nice pickup each time. Okay, actually even this one, even though it is a nice pickup, and maybe through the camera, Actually, the camera looks pretty nice, but it is missing parts and bits of polish. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that on. And let's pick up another time. You can get lucky, but eventually the polish that is sitting in there will start to not make your stamp look very good. And of course, it's not going to show me that, right? Okay, I don't want to use that. So I do recommend in general that you do clean your plate after every, every time that you use it, just as a good reference. You can get away with it, but as a general rule, I wouldn't do it. I think I'm gonna try and pick this little guy up there. I feel like especially when it comes to very intricate designs, to clean the plate is better. Okay, there. So if you notice, you'll probably see little pockets of paint that's missing. And I do have a detail brush here. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the black. I'll put it on my lotus mat. Not a whole lot, but just enough on the tip. And I'll just go through and paint those areas. It's a nice, full, solid piece, so it gives you a little bit of playroom to make mistakes and stuff. If you have bumps, don't worry about it. You will take care of that with your top coat. Okay. So just carefully, I'm just going in with all those little bits that I see that's missing. I just saw a comment about how I make this manicure look easy. I love simple manicures, and I feel like I make it look easy because it is actually very easy. Honestly, I'm not quite sure I know how to do a very complicated manicure. One, I don't have time, so I, in general, need to simplify things for my life, but and I also think, not everybody has that kind of level of time to commit. You can also achieve a really nice manicure without having to spend hours and hours and hours at your creative desk. But, sometimes life doesn't allow us those hours to do something like this. If it wasn't for the fact that I had to, put on this set, the manicure itself doesn't take very long. Actually, what probably is going to take the longest is the drying of the top coat after. Okay. So now let's work on the pinky because I'm going in the same direction. So you see here, this is what we have so far. And if you look at my nails, so I just did the thumb where the hearts are pointing towards me. So that means the middle nail is actually going to be facing. What's going on? That means that my middle finger, the heart is going to be facing out. And my pinky, the hearts are going to be facing me. Okay? So let's see. Let's go with that size there. Sometimes when you scrape, I feel like after a while you can dictate whether it's going to be a streaky pickup or a clean pickup. You know, like maybe sometimes it's like, you know, I don't really want to pick up that design because I know it's not going to be a really nice one. So I think that just comes with over time as you stamp and you become very familiar with your plate and your technique. Nice solid designs like this, especially using cream polishes, allows me a little bit of thinking room, you know, when moments like that happen where it's like, where do I put this? Okay, so far that's what the design is coming out to be. I feel like I have to pick up some smaller hearts. How many of you like to wear hearts? Let me know in the comments. I love the little hearts. I see Michelle loves hearts. Black hearts. See, someone loves black hearts as much as I do. Ooh, lips are fun. Let me see if I can clean this up. Okay. So I'm just cleaning up that design a little because the pickup was a little iffy there. Okay, so now that I see a lot of you like hearts, are you gonna wear this design? This heart design. Give me some hearts if you think this is a design that you will wear. Yay, Marla. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so now just like what I did with the other side, I do see a little bit of pockets of paint that's missing. I'm just gonna go in with my detail brush and a little bit of black on my Lotus mat here. So I can just paint in those little areas. Having a detail brush like this is really, really helpful for tasks like this. So just gonna go in, try and just clean up some of these spots. Nothing too crazy. Okay. That would be cute, kind of like those sweethearts, the conversation hearts. I thought about that too. That's another thing that's, I like pastel colors, I guess, separately. But I guess your traditional spring colors is not personally my thing. But again, that's what nail art is all about. You be as creative as you want to. Okay. So there's one more. And now we're gonna do the middle finger. Just helps me to keep my mind in check when I'm doing the nail art. Now remember what I said, the direction of these hearts are now going to be facing me, or I'm sorry, going to be facing outward this way, where the point is going to be facing out. Okay. So you notice that the tip is pointing towards me. How many of you guys stamp this way, where it's like onto the ground? I mean, onto your table, your surface. Sometimes I stamp like this, where I'm like, I go like this, so I can see. I have to remember to make my hand firm when that happens, so I don't get a wobbly stamp. Okay, so that looks like a nice pickup. Yep. So this heart, the Bleeding Hearts plate, is currently on the site right now. You can buy the plate separately, or we do have a limited edition bundle that it comes in. But yeah, this plate is super fun. There's so many things you can do. It does have some layering involved if you want to do that. Let's see. And I can talk a little bit about that. I featured it in a previous video, but I'm on here with you guys, so I should do it now. But if you're looking at this plate, there's a whole bunch of, so like say for instance, if you did a solid in one color, you could lay out any of these designs with another color over it. Same with these kind of more narrow looking hearts. You could do the same thing with any of these designs to layer over them. Darn, I think I may have thrown away my little sample, but these are some really cute designs here. And then you can see, you know, there's like little tiny hearts. So there's a lot you can do with this. Oh, I messed up, but that's okay. I'll fix that. No biggie. Oh, Shape Nouveau is a really good plate. That is another good plate to just kind of keep in your arsenal because that one just has a lot of basic shapes. You know, I think it might be a really good idea to do a basic shape comparison video for you guys. And I guess when I say comparison, I mean, you know, some people, I guess all they know is to hand draw those like really basic shapes, like a triangle or something like that. But what if you could stamp it? That'd be a whole lot easier. So I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh, maybe that would be a cool video to show you guys. Okay. Okay. So here is our finished look. Let me move these things on the side. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of black again on my lotus mat, just like that. As you can see, not a lot. Pick up a little. I'm gonna fix some of these hearts here. This one looks like it kind of got bitten. It was the way that I picked up the design. That's okay. I'm gonna just kind of lightly work on straightening out that line. Okay, there, fix that. I don't see too many parts. Okay. So there. So if I bring it up closely, you'll notice it looks a little textured. And that's good because I wanted to show you what that looks like. Some people, they get, you know, a little weirded out, like, oh my gosh, is my manicure gonna look textured like that? And you don't have to worry because, like I said, your top coat will take care of that. So I wanted to show what that looks like. So I'm gonna go in with my smudge free. And I'll top coat this. I love this top coat. It smells nice too. I'm gonna wait on that middle finger since I just painted that. It'd do me no good to just, you know, put the top coat immediately after because that might cause smudging. You know, if everything is still wet, we want to make sure it's dry, or at least like closer to tacky than wet. Did I put enough on there? Okay. So let me smell this middle one and see. I think it should be okay to top coat it. Perfect. Okay. So let me bring in those other tips, because this one, I know our teacher Devon here, she always talks about adding interest to our nails, right? If we work so hard on them, we want people to look at them, and it just kind of adds more interest. If, say, for instance, you alternate or you kind of do something really fun, add a little Easter egg in there for people to look at. So there you go. So that's another way to add interest, is to you know, alternate it just like that. So it's opposite on the other hand. And then also when you're looking at it on your own hand, no two nails are the same right next to each other. So look at that. That was really simple and fun. It always takes longer when I'm talking. If I was just working on this, I honestly think these tips, it took me like less than 15 minutes. I probably could have put this into a challenge, a 15-minute challenge, and I could have probably done it in less time, but I figured to take my time and really show you guys how to do that. So isn't that really cool that you can do this really cute heart French tip design? And I didn't even use the detail brush. I just used the brush from the polish. If you find that, say for instance, your lines for your heart is getting wonky, then don't worry about it. You can easily just use like one of these detail brushes. We sell these also on the site for in a 3-pack. And that's what I've been using to color in the hearts. If say for instance, I saw missing polishes, and you can kind of work on that heart tip. But yeah, so give me some hearts if you guys love this design. If you think you're gonna wear it, I hope you guys do. Please go ahead and tag us in any of your art pieces. We love to see what your designs come out to. If you're using a different color, that is wonderful. I think there's a lot of different colors out there that you could definitely use. You know, just like the multitude like of color palettes that I gave you. If you want to go something that looks more traditional, you can change it up. You can make it colorful, rainbow, whatever you want to. And that's why it's nail art. You can be as creative as you want to. So I don't see any more questions. I hope I answered most of what you guys had. If not, I know Dev was on here with us. So thank you so much, Dev, for all your help. And continue to keep talking, sharing the conversation. And also, we are soon will be talking to you guys in our little community tab, maybe asking some questions, asking you what you would like to see in our videos, any techniques, or if you just have, you know, you want to communicate with us. We love our community, and we want to thank you so much for joining our YouTube, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, Monica, that's how you spell Devon's name. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. See you guys later, and be kind. Bye.